You ever notice how some stories they just stick with you? Could be a movie, a book, or even just a post you see online. Well, a lot of the time, they're following this hidden classic pattern that just really connects with us. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on that exact pattern. We're looking at a blueprint you can use to tell your own story of growth and, real transformation. Every great story needs a hook, and this is a perfect one. What's so powerful about this is that in just a handful of words, you get the entire struggle. It's an instant connection. We immediately understand the pain points, right? The communication barrier, the slow work. It just makes you lean in and go, okay, I get this. What happened next? And that leads us right into the first stage, which is honestly the most important part of any great story. Before you can show everyone the amazing after, you have to paint a really clear picture of the before. This is what people call the ordinary world. It's the starting line for the whole journey. It's such a simple idea, but it's so powerful. For a story to have any kind of impact, your audience has to understand what you are up against. I mean, without a problem, there's no journey, there's no victory, and let's be honest, there's no reason for anyone to keep listening. The problem is what drives the whole thing forward. And just look at how powerful being specific is. The story we're following doesn't just say, oh, work was hard. No, it gives us the real details. Long hours, staring at an Excel sheet as a production planner, these mind-numbing repetitive reports, pressure from the boss, and that constant struggle with English. Those are the details that make it feel so real and so relatable. So, the scene is set. We totally get the daily grind. But a story can't just stay there forever, right? Every great narrative needs a catalyst. That one point where the main character finally decides, okay, enough is enough. This is the call to adventure. And this is that turning point. It's that critical moment of decision. And it's not something that just happens to you. It's a conscious choice that you make. You get fed up with the old way, and you actively decide, I'm going to find a new path. That choice is what really kicks the story into high gear. This timeline just lays it out perfectly. You go from the daily grind, where you're just kind of dealing with a problem, to a catalyst, that breaking point. And from there, you get an active decision. It's that huge shift from, man, I wish things were different, to, I am going to learn VBA, Python, and AI to make things different. And this all builds up to what is, for me, the most satisfying part of the story, the transformation. This is where that decision turns into real action and the hero starts building the new tools they need to overcome that original struggle. Now, the key thing here is to show what you did, not just tell people about it. The person in our example didn't just say, I learned to code. Nope, they built actual, tangible things. We see Excel automation tools, a PDF to Excel converter, data summary tools. And notice, the focus is on what these tools do and why it all matters, not the super complex code behind it. That's what makes it feel so real and achievable. And here it is, the payoff. The contrast between before and after is just crystal clear. You see the shift from hours and hours of frustrating, stressful manual work to getting the same things done in just minutes. And this isn't just about saving time, is it? It's about getting back control, building confidence, and at the end of the day, delivering way better results. And if there is one number you take away from this whole transformation, it's this one: 4. As in 4 to 5 hours of work saved. Every single day. I mean, that's not just a small improvement, that is absolutely life-changing. But a true hero's journey doesn't just end with your own success. The final and really crucial stage is about coming back with the elixir, that's the knowledge and the wisdom you gained, and sharing it to help other people who are going through the same exact thing. And these right here are the core lessons that came from this journey. They're so simple, but they're so profound. You don't have to be a genius to get started. Small, daily efforts add up over time. Consistency is way more important than talent. And look, new tech like AI is an amazing tool, but it's not some magic wand. This is the kind of wisdom that makes the story valuable to everyone else.
So what does this all look like as a real action plan? Well, the story gives us a super clear roadmap. First, don't try to solve everything at once. Just start with one small, specific problem. Then master the basics of the tools you're already using every day. Practice a little bit daily, even for a few minutes. And finally, use new tech to support you, not to replace you.
All right, so we've walked through all the individual stages. Now let's kind of zoom out and see how all these pieces fit together to create one single, powerful blueprint for making an impact. When you look at it this way, you can see how each part has a really specific job, right? The struggle, that's all about creating an emotional connection. The turning point, that builds momentum and gets things moving. The transformation, that delivers the proof that this all worked. And the wisdom, that gives everyone an actionable takeaway. Every single stage is essential. And it's so important to realize that, yeah, we've been breaking this down as a story, but it's so much more than that. This is a framework you can use in a job interview, in a business proposal, really any time you need to explain what you do and the value you bring. It is a powerful tool for communicating your worth to the world. So as we wrap things up here, I just want to leave you with this one question. You have your own struggles, you have your own turning points, and you definitely have your own hard-won wisdom. Using this blueprint, what's the story of growth that only you can tell?